Nigeria has endorsed a candidate from Uganda for the post of African Union Commission chairperson. Now, this means the West African nation has thrown its support behind a candidate from East Africa rather than its own region. The declaration is a significant boost for former Ugandan Vice President Dr. Specioza Kazibwe. Nigeria is not only the biggest economy in Africa, but also a strong voice in the West African bloc, ECOWAS. That could indicate the region may choose to endorse the East African candidate instead of its own contender from Equatorial Guinea. Now, current AU Commission chairperson South Africa's Nkosazana Dlamini-Zuma is due to step down. Her successor will be announced at the upcoming AU summit in Kigali, Rwanda. Let's bring you more on that story now. I'm joined live from Kampala by CCTV's Michael Baleke, and also joining us live is CCTV's Deji Badmus. He's joining us, of course, from Lagos. Michael, let's start with you. A backing now from Africa's strongest economy for Uganda's candidate. Are Ugandans pleased?
Hello, Lindy. Yes, Ugandans are indeed delighted. They say Nigeria is not just throwing its weight behind Dr. Kazibwe as an individual. They believe this is about recognizing Uganda's contribution to the African continent and the African Union. You know, Uganda has played a key role in advocating for peace and security and the fight against terrorism on the continent. Uganda supported Rwanda in the post-genocide period. It was the first country to send its troops in Somalia and still has the biggest contingent of AMISOM troops right there. And of course, Uganda has played a key role to bring back peace in South Sudan just recently, and parts of the Central African Republic, where it is pursuing the Lord's Resistance Army rebels. And the country is right now also involved in the Burundi crisis as a key negotiator. So you can see this. And finally, of course, there is a growing interest in the role of women in politics globally. And probably Nigeria is one of those that have made a mark on gender-related issues on the African continent.
Deji, let's bring you in here now. We've just been hearing Michael talk about the contribution that Uganda has made to the African Union and to the continent as a whole. Is this why Nigeria has opted to back an East African candidate rather than a West African one?
Well, first of all, Lindy, let me just say right away that maybe Uganda should not be celebrating just yet, because we still haven't had an official word from the Nigerian presidency. The latest support coming from Nigeria actually came from the National Assembly, that's Parliament. It's actually the President of the Senate who wrote that letter now to Dr. Wandira, you know, expressing support for the Ugandan candidate. So we still haven't heard from the Nigerian president, and nothing has come out from the Nigerian presidency. We know that other candidates have been coming to the Nigerian presidency, you know, to seek its support. But of course, it will make sense. You know, it's understandable why Nigeria may not, even though it has not come out to say so openly, but why Nigeria may not be supporting the candidate from Equatorial Guinea. Because, I mean, let's face it, Equatorial Guinea is considered by many to be a dictatorship, and it just might be difficult for the country now to support that candidate, even though Equatorial Guinea comes from the same West African sub-region as Nigeria. But then, most importantly, is that we're still waiting to hear from the Nigerian presidency. I've actually spoken with the spokesperson of the Nigerian president, and he said, well, no final word has come out from the president yet, and we wait and see what happens. But then, we know that the Senate president of this country has thrown his weight behind the Ugandan candidate. But of course, as you know, Parliament, I mean, the Senate president will not be taking part in that election. So what the president says will definitely carry more weight than what the Senate president has actually said.
Well, of course, there is an ongoing debate over whether or not the nationality of an AU Commission chair should matter or not. Michael, we know that Uganda's government has given Dr. Kazibwe about $1 million for her campaign. Just how does Uganda think her leadership, her possible leadership of the AU, might benefit the country?
Lindy, what this means, this whole issue of taking the AU chair, is that if Dr. Kazibwe definitely wins, it will solidify Uganda's international image. Like I said earlier, it is on record that Uganda has been influential in helping war-torn countries on the continent. Not only that, but it is home to more than 500,000 refugees who have been displaced by the conflicts in those countries. Just to show the significance of this position and respect Uganda is to have thereafter, the position of African Union chairperson comes with both continental and other international obligations, given that the chairperson is the continent's topmost diplomat. And the occupant, or in this case, if it's Dr. Kazibwe, she steers the affairs of the if she steers the affairs of the commission, of course, this has direct impact not only on Uganda, but the lives of over 1 billion people from 54 countries in Africa.
And let's just return to you, Deji, just in terms of the people of Nigeria themselves. I mean, at the end of the, it seems we may have lost Deji Badmus there. I do apologize for that. But there you have it, the views from around the continent as to who has the right credentials for this all-important job of the AU Commission Chair.